The ego states, we all possess, we all possess them, all three of them. So we have parent, adult, and child, which we've learned from childhood. Basically, we've learned how to be these. Our parents give us a bit of a blueprint of how to be a parent, and hopefully a bit of a blueprint about how to be an adult, and also how to be a child. So if this is me, and you are beautiful, you also have an ego state, which can be one of these three. You possess all of them just as I do. Now, the ideal relationship with someone, family member, romantic relationship, whatever, needs to be adult to adult, which means no you statements, no blame games, no games in general. Being able to communicate effectively, being able to communicate your issues, being able to express your boundaries, but without huge amounts of conflict and negative or dysfunctional behaviour and anger and violence, etc., etc. Yeah, of course you could be angry with somebody, but it's how you express it, it's how you deal with it, how you resolve it. So the ideal is adult to adult. But what happens a lot, and what I see in practice, is parent-child. So the other person acts like the parent, and you act like a child, or vice versa. But let's take two kind of archetypal examples. So the helpless child and the rescuing parent. So and don't forget, these are adult. You're an adult at this point. So I'm a helpless adult. So I'm in my child ego state. I'm completely helpless, and you're my partner or whatever, and you're going to keep rescuing me and parenting me and guiding me through life. What that prevents from happening is me actually is me becoming empowered and learning and having the tools and using the tools that I need to get through life and to stand on my own 2 feet. You're actually holding them back. And let's say this one is the acting out, the naughty child, dysfunctional, and this parent is judgmental, and may actually switch over to being rescuing as well, bail them out all the time of problems. So I get to act out, and there's very little consequence, except you can chastise me as my partner, let's say, or as my sibling. Don't forget, this is all while we're an adult. Now, these dynamics will be again, they're life scripts, as Berne said, and you get strokes from them. So ask yourself the same question: what am I getting? What am I getting from acting like a child? What am I getting from acting like a parent? Or what am I getting from acting like an adult would be the best question to ask if you are acting like a child, adult, sorry. So what am I getting? And this will also give you a clue. And if you're working with clients, or you're working with yourself, or you're just here for self-awareness, or you're actually gaining some knowledge, this will give you a clue into your childhood dynamics and the scripts that were created and the roles that were created and catalyzed and have then been compounded over the years, because you've gone off and sought other relationships where you can play out your script as the helpless child, or and I am using archetypal examples, or the acting out angry child, or the judgmental parent, or the rescuing parent. If you find yourself here, what I often talk about or try to teach, especially in like relationship therapy or couples therapy, one of you needs to move into adult state and really stay there, and hold it, and hopefully the other will then make the move as well, and they'll learn from you and they'll join you. Doesn't always happen. If it doesn't happen and you move into adult and you stay consistent and you don't go back to playing the game, playing the role, if you stay as the adult and they don't, chances are you'll become tired of it and bored of it, or they will of you. because they can't play out the script. You're changing your script, you've thrown yours in the bin. You don't want to know anymore. You're like, oh, I've done that for 30 years and it doesn't work, it's crap. So I'm going to throw it in the bin. I'm going to write myself a new script. And then this relationship will sever. Or at least it will widen, there'll be distance. If it's a romantic relationship, chances are it will sever. If it doesn't grow, one of you's going to go that way and the other one's going to remain stagnant. If it's family or work, you'll just put distance in. Chances are you may sever. There's no. I think even if it's a family member and it's really, really toxic, it can only be of benefit to sever contact, and until they're ready to move forward again. Perhaps I think you should always leave the door open, but if it's in your best interest, but often it's in your best interest to sever. So it's just a little bit more into where Berne was going with this theory on a relational theory. And actually, if you analyse your adult relationships, you will get a huge idea of what your childhood was like. As a fun kind of aside, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but I have my 3 ego states and you have your 3 ego states: adult, child, parent. And these were given to me by my parents, and yours were given to you by your parents. Oh, that's 4, should be 3. And then they, in turn, had set of parents, whether they're absent or not, doesn't matter. So now you have generational influence on a serious note. It's kind of an exponential growth, I guess. It's generational influence. So I'm here and I've got, you can take it even further and there we go. It keeps going. Each person has 3, which they learn from 2 people who have 3 each, so they learn from 6. And you can ask yourself the question, how many people are in this relationship? How many people are influencing our behaviours? How many scripts are being handed down that are playing out in our relationship dynamics? And it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but there is a serious edge to it. This generational kind of epigenetic thing, if you like. Yeah, actually, how many people are in our bedroom? How many people are around our dinner table? How many influences are in the room unconsciously affecting our dynamics and also our history? So our past, our childhood, our past plays a part. So our past lays a foundational layer, and then we repeat the pattern, and we layer on top of that, and then we repeat it, and then we repeat it, and then we repeat it, and then we repeat it. And it's so set by now. You have to knock it. You have to knock it down. You have to change your script. Okay, and so you have to knock this tower down and get rid of it. And it's like, okay, I've compounded the problem over the years. And I no longer want this problem. I want to rewrite the next chapter of my life. So I have to discard. It doesn't mean that you forget your past. Your past helped shape you. You have to just trim it. Or trim the effects of your past. You can't change your past. Maybe you should honour it. I think you should honour it. And honour it that it's given you wisdom to then be able to later on in life look at it, look at yourself from outside of yourself and change things. And go, you know what, actually this happened, but this is no longer useful to me, so I'm going to push it to one side. And I'm going to kind of reinvent myself, remodel myself, reshape myself. Not all of me, just part of me, just grow, just the bits that aren't really helping me, that are detrimental to me, or that really aren't helping me progress forward in life. I'm going to trim them off. And thanks for the influence, and I'm going to take what's useful to me and what's healthy, and then the rest of it I'm going to disregard. I'm going to get rid of, because it hasn't helped, and it's led me into problems upon problems, which have stacked, and now I want rid. So, yeah, food for thought.